Today, I'm going to be showing you guys the best possible keyboard and mouse settings to win you the most matches and even get you Unreal in the new ranked reload map. All right, so jumping into our first bit of settings, we have our graphics settings, which as you can see here are pretty standard. I'm playing at my monitor's native resolution, which is 1440p. Your guys' will most likely be 1080. Just put it at whatever your native is. And then put your frame rate limit on whatever your refresh rate on your monitor is. Mine is 360, so just put it at whatever yours is. My brightness is at 100 and I don't touch my colorblind anymore. I just don't use it. And then my 3D res is at 100%. It's just bugged right now. And then everything else is as low as possible with my FPS off, because you do actually get more FPS with it off. Now going into the audio tab, everyone's audio is going to be different. So just kind of put this to what you like in general. Don't worry about what I have. Just try and mess around with it, play with it until you find something that you enjoy. Now for the actual game settings, I do play on NA East right now because I am like basically hard 0 on it. And then for the movement, you're gonna want toggle sprint on, auto open doors on, because it helps you if you mess up an edit, it automatically goes through and you open that door instead of having to physically open the door or try to reset the edit or fix the edit. And then I have hold jump and press jump. I find these to be honestly the absolute best ones you can use. And then for combat, I do use hold to swap pickup, which is super useful for inventory management. If you guys don't know, you can just hold down your pickup key and it'll automatically swap the gun you're holding for that item that you're trying to pick up. Now, I do recommend turning auto pickup weapons on if you are playing competitive, because it'll help you win 50-50s on chests more. Personally, I don't use it. And then for my preferred item slots, I used to use my loadout and my shotgun for my first slot, because it's nice off spawn. If I pick up multiple guns, I don't have to worry about organizing it. My shotgun just goes right where I need it to be. And for building, I have reset building choice on and then turbo building on. Of course, if you're not using that setting, you're really far behind. And then I do use edit on release, and I use pre-edits. I do not use simple edit. I don't think it's worth it. Plus I play competitive, it's not allowed. Now for some extra performance, if you're on console PC, turn all of your replays off, and then make sure you have these energy saving options off as well. Now for my HUD settings, it's nothing crazy. I have my HUD a bit smaller than most people will have theirs. I want to actually be able to see the person I'm hitting from a long distance when I'm surge tagging and stuff like that. So I do have the numbers a bit smaller than I normally will, but you guys can copy what I have exactly if you'd like to. And then I do recommend turning off your ping, because you do get more FPS not having that stuff displayed on your screen. Now for the actual keyboard and mouse settings, I recently lowered my sensitivity to 2.6, and this is on 1600 DPI. So I did go a lot lower. I was originally at 3.6, but it is a lot lower now, and I've been moving a lot better. I feel a lot crazier on the sensitivity, so make sure you guys give it a try. I think it's the best sense you can use right now. With a 50-50 targeting and scope, it's pretty standard. I mean, it just scope sensitivity feels good to me. You guys can mess around with it. You know, some people prefer to have it up higher, some people don't. And then building and editing, I do have them up a little bit because this X and Y is a little slow. It's nice to have the building and editing up to 115 for each one. It makes it feel a lot better and smoother. Now for less input delay, if you guys never play controller, make sure you guys turn both of these settings on. It'll be ignore controller input and then lock input method as mouse. If you guys don't play controller, these settings help a ton, because it'll only register keyboard and mouse versus trying to register your controller and keyboard. Now for keyboard movement, I do use custom diagonals, which is just double movement, and these are the settings I use. It's 62, 90, and 135. I find them extremely good. You know, you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but I think that's the perfect movement settings for me. Everything else is completely irrelevant. You don't need to worry. Now going into the keybinds, I do just use normal WASD for my movement, spacebar to jump, and my sprint is actually caps lock. I use C for crouching and sliding and all of that. My reloads are, my pickup is scroll wheel and T. My pickaxe is on Q, and my weapons are just 1 through 5, super simple. Now for my actual building keybinds, my wall is on my bottom mouse button. I use F for my floor. My stairs are on my top mouse button, and my roof is shift. My traps are X, but there's really not any traps in the game. And then I do edit with E, and then of course I use scroll or reset. If you guys don't know how to set it up, just bind building editing scroll wheel down on the second slot, and then go to reset building and then do the same thing, letting that scroll wheel down. Now that is all of my actual settings. Now let me show you guys how well these settings work in an actual reload match, and just show you how good we can do, especially with this new reload just came out, the brand new map and everything. So let's just jump right into that. 200. What is that thing? Holy man. 200. Oh man. Nice.